Nidra. Before that, we are actually practicing Brahmari Pranayama. Okay. So now let me take you through the simplest way to do Brahmari Pranayama. There are many ways, as I was telling you earlier, there are so many ways to do Brahmari Pranayama. But the easiest way is just closing the flaps of your ears, inhaling. And when you inhale, through the nostril, you have to inhale. And when you exhale, contract and release the sound from your throat. Those of you who know, still you can listen and let us all practice together. Okay. So, what are the benefits of doing this? When you do this, your volume should be slightly above your regular talking volume. Why it is so? When you are planning to do the working with the beta waves in the brain, the beta waves are also making the noise at the same level in which you are talking. Am I right? Your brain is used to the same volume in which you are talking, right? So you need to make a sound which is slightly above your regular talking volume. So many people come to us and say, I am practicing Brahmari for 20 years, I have no results. I tell them you practice for 100 years, also no results. Because you are just mimicking. Like many people feel, no, every day morning they get up and go to temple, they become spiritual. Nothing is going to happen. That is a mechanical activity. So you have to first listen and you should do it in a way which it is prescribed to be done, not the way you think it is right. Does that make sense? So what is the easiest way to do? You have to train yourself to make the humming sound slightly above your regular talking volume. This is very important. Then only Brahmari will give result. Why is it so? Your brain is also conversing in the same volume which it is used to. So you need to speak at a higher volume, make the sound. Second, when you inhale, you are normally inhaling. When you are exhaling, you are contracting your throat region. So naturally, your ability to exhale for a longer time is naturally there. It is like you are watering the garden. If you hold the pipe tight, less water will come out, and the same 100-liter water in your tank can be used for gardening for a longer time. Am I right? Does that make sense? If the pipe is of the same width, the same time it took to upload 100 liters, for example, 10 minutes, you will empty that in 10 minutes only. But if you're holding the pipe a bit little tight, you can do it in 20 minutes. Similarly, when you're inhaling, you are normally inhaling. When you're exhaling, you are contracting your throat, like how you are holding the pipe in a tight, and then you are exhaling. So naturally, you will be appearing you're exhaling for long. Remember, the volume should be slightly above your regular speaking volume. Okay. So now what we can do, this has to be scientifically practiced for 6.5 minutes. Now the time is 5:30. Till 5:37, we are going to do this practice. Is it okay? Yeah. So I will give you a demonstration once. Time. This is the flap. I'm closing. I'm inhaling. As I exhale, I am going to contract the throat. Mm. Correct? Like this, you have to keep practicing till I ask you to stop. 5:31. We are going to start the practice now. We'll go on practicing till 5:38. Please start the practice. Only one person per device. I can see a lot of people in Anusuya's screen. For record purpose, one person only will be considered.
So gradually make this your last round. Gradually make this your last round. Yes. So what we generally do is we can practice this pranayama before meditation, before yoga nidra, or any inner work you want to do. It could be even reading a book or any important work you do, your mind will be decluttered. Now, the most important task is how the relaxation happens. How relaxation happens is when we are able to get in touch with something called a little man in our brain. So the body level relaxation starts there. Through a series of instructions, when we try to keep our mind on the instructions, not thinking about what is the next instruction or why is the teacher's English not good or why did they speak like this? These are all the things which are anyway going to create confusion and tension. So what we generally do, whenever you do a practice like yoga nidra or inner work, you only focus on the content or the message. And you have to hold your mind in the present moment by just being with the instructions. When you do that, what happens? You quieten the mind. So before that, the scientific reasons were given to us mainly to make our mind understand that, like when you go to a doctor, the doctor will say, have paracetamol. You don't question the doctor asking anything about it. You just, in word, you take it and you start taking it. But the doctor is recommending because they are privy to the scientific studies which are done. When you have paracetamol, what happens to you? You will have a sweat and slowly the fever will be reduced. And if you are having a viral fever every 4th hour or 5th hour, so the dosage is determined by the specialist who is the doctor. So we are able to trust them. Similarly, we should be able to trust the yoga teacher or the instructor with whom you are, because they are not just telling from their own imagination. They are saying it because there are a lot of neuroscience reports which have conclusively proved if you do relaxation this way, you will definitely experience it. See, how many of us know that there are 5 types of brain waves? Maybe 50% of the people here know. But after the session, you are feel free, you should verify. That is the only fact available. So when you are coming to a place, you try to trust and then follow the process. So we say when you do yoga nidra, by just being with the instructions, either theta or alpha will flow if you just be with the instructions. When you are just being with the instructions, these particular waves will ensure the relaxation is starting from the brain and seeping through the entire body. The next set of instructions you will receive is on the breathing process. As we saw, whenever we are stressed, our breathing becomes unnaturally shortened. We'll only breathe from here, but the lung capacity is still half of the, just above the abdomen, your lung is there, but rarely we breathe properly. So we are also going to do breathing techniques at 3 different places in the body. So just be aware of the breath. What is the meaning between try to breathe and be aware of the breath? Whether we like or not, whether we are observant or not, breathing is happening, correct? Though you are unmuted, you can shake your head. I can see your heads, correct? Whether you like or you don't like, whether you are sleeping or you are awake, whether it's a boring class or an interesting class, but you will be breathing, no? Nobody can deny that. But why we are not able to relax is because we are not aware of the breathing. Similarly, only when you have a cough and cold, you remember you have a throat and nose. Otherwise, you are not bothered. You dump in loads of ice cream, you can walk in pollution, nothing will happen. But the moment you feel there is a problem, the throat chokes or the body is aching, then you become aware that there is a problem. In Yoga Nidra or any other work relating to the spiritual realm, We always do prevention better than cure. So during the body scanning and the breathing process, you are preempting and building health every time you do this. Is it okay? So how this process is going to work is, you will hear an instruction, be aware. So how you should be aware? You should know why awareness is different from concentration. Concentration means your face becomes tight, your forehead shrinks, and you are trying to focus on something. Have you observed? Sometimes we forget to smile also. We are so serious as if we had an ounce of castor oil. Correct? We become so serious in the name of concentration. So what happens is, when you are trying to concentrate, it is very difficult. But when concentration naturally happens, it becomes easy. It is like a subject which you like. You don't need to make any effort. You naturally concentrate. You like a movie of your choice. Nobody needs to tell you, sit in a place, don't move. You will watch unmoved. Like that, what we have to do is, we have to develop first the ability to be aware and start accepting of the things. Then only concentration will happen. What is accepting of the things around? Suppose now I am going to give you an instruction. Be aware of the sounds around you. Naturally, some sounds you will like, some sounds you will not like. I am not reminding you the voice of your spouse or your children, okay? But naturally, when you are at your home, some sounds you like, some sounds you don't like. And then suddenly a dog will be barking in between your meeting. Can you go and tell the dog, I have a meeting, you go and bark in the next street? You can't do that. And you are about to concentratedly listen something, a vehicle will honk. In India, you know, when you say it is painted, don't touch, we'll touch and see. In the home, they'll say, no horn, there is a school nearby, you will test whether the school is open by honking. So it's naturally a human tendency is to do what you are not asked to do. But we want everybody to obey what we say. That is another story. So what we are going to do in developing awareness, remember, this is a very subtle point. Why many people get up completely stressed out after their meditation is, without knowing how to relax, they get into meditation, and everybody sells in the market meditation is the elixir for all the problems you have. In fact, if you don't understand how to quieten the mind, meditation is the poison which you can undertake every day. This nobody teaches you that, because then the market is gone. So meditation should be done only from a relaxed, calm state of mind for correct results. If you just do meditation for the heck of it, you will spoil your mental health. You will get more stressed than before. So Yoga Nidra is a great process along with Brahmari to help us meditate. Now coming back to this awareness, when you are going to quieten the mind by just being aware of sounds around you, many sounds you may like, many sounds you cannot like. So this is the first training, to accept the things as they are. Like a crow and the dog will behave like a crow and the dog. We cannot change. A vehicle passing by will definitely honk. We cannot change. You cannot ask somebody to drive better in the road. Only you have to take care of yourself. If you see, this expectation is only creating the stress, unnecessary expectation. Even today, what happened at the start? Suddenly, we had a lot of nuisance happening, right? Honestly, let us think about it. But can that stop us from proceeding with what we are supposed to do? So we practically saw today, we can only do what we can do. And naturally, some two people were sent. They tried to help us to manage the situation. If we try to manage, imagine all the 197 of us try to control everything happening, everybody will be under stress. You understood the practical thing. So what we were doing, all of us were aware of what was happening. Two people were handling. We were only handling our own emotions. Imagine this, if you can translate into day-to-day life, it would be a great thing, right? So when you are aware, you are accepting things as they are. When you concentrate, it is for a different purpose. But when you are aware, you are trying to quieten the mind, calm the mind, and use the mind for whatever work you are planning to do. That is the first step Yoga Nidra helps us. Second step, it helps us to consciously relax the body, which we call as the Annamaya Kosha. Second is when you are able to just be aware of the breath. As I was telling you, whether you like or you don't like, whether you are observing or you are not observing, breath will happen. The key is how long and how quietly we are able to be aware of the breath helps us to relax better. When you do that, your second kosha, which is called the pranamaya kosha, the energy or emotion body, naturally gets quietened. After this, the higher levels of Yoga Nidra, you work with the mind, work with the buddhi and the higher realms. But the stress is generated and exhibited in the body and the breath. So today our agenda is working with the Brahmari Pranayama to quieten the brain. Through the quietening of brain, we quieten the mind. And using Yoga Nidra, we learn a simple process which we can practice every day so that we are handling the stress of the body and the breath in a calmer way. Okay. So what we will do now is I will start giving instructions. Some of you who are seated, you can practice this if you are able to sit quiet for 15 minutes. If you feel it is difficult to sit still for 15 minutes, please lie down on a mat or a carpet, or you can put a bedspread. Take a minute to settle down. And that posture is called the corpse pose. So take a minute, settle down. Generally, we advise Yoga Nidra to be practiced in Shavasana for the simple reason, if we practice Shavasana corpse pose continuously for 12 minutes, that itself will give deeper relaxation. Today, we are going to practice shorter version of Yoga Nidra, which is maximum 15 minutes. So if you are not having the facility to lie down, you can still sit and practice. So whether you are lying down or you are seated, keep your eyes closed and let there be a gentle smile on your face throughout the practice. Now, if you are lying down, ensure the heels are facing each other and they are at least 2 feet apart. That will help our low back to relax. And allow the palms to face the roof and keep the hands slightly away from the body. If you are seated in meditation posture, let us keep the spine erect. The smile is common for those of you who are lying down or seated. The smile continues to be common. And if you are seated, you can either adopt Chin Mudra or open the palms to the roof and keep the palm back of the hand on the thighs. At any point, if you are not able to understand the instruction, it's absolutely okay. When you have some doubts, just become aware of your breath. If you are not understanding any instruction also, please be aware of your breath. It will help you to relax. We are anyway going to share the material with you. So sometimes some instructions we may not understand. It is okay. Whatever you are understanding, please do that. Okay. On that note, with closed eyes and smiling face, become aware of sounds around you. It could be vehicles, birds, ticking of clock, people talking in the next room, some television or radio or animals. So many things can produce sound. The fan, air conditioner. So just be aware of all the sounds with a smiling face and closed eyes. Sometimes the mind would wander, or it may feel drowsy. It is okay. Just be with the sounds you are able to observe. Now, observe how your body, either it is seated or it is lying down in Shavasana. With a calm face and closed eyes, just observe your body. It is this body which we use to further our goals, utilizing our mind as the software. So just give attention to your body and just be with the body. In waking state, we rarely give attention to our body. Now become aware of your right thumb. Let the right thumb be still. We are not moving the body part, but we are trying with a smiling face to take our awareness to the right thumb. Now move the awareness to the right index finger. Gradually do that. Now become aware of the middle finger, ring finger, little finger. Now be aware of the right hand, the right wrist, the right forearm, the right elbow, the right upper arm, the right shoulder, the right shoulder blade. Now be aware of the space between the right armpit to the right hip. Be aware of your right hip. The right thigh. The right knee. The right calf. The right ankle. The right heel. The right sole. The right big toe. Second toe. Third toe. Fourth toe. And the right little toe. Now ensure that we are aware, awake. Even if the mind is getting sleep, it is okay. Gently remember that we are trying to practice Yoga Nidra, which for many of us is a new process. So sometimes we may get sleep, but get the mind back to the instructions. Now become aware of the left thumb, left index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and the left little finger. Now be aware of the left palm, left wrist, left forearm, left elbow, left upper arm, left shoulder, the left shoulder blade, now observe the space between the left armpit and the left hip. Now be aware of the left thigh, left knee, the left calf, the left ankle, the left heel, the left sole, now be aware of the left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and the left little toe. Now we completely scanned the right side and the left sides of the body. Visualize yourself calm and collected, smiling in the corpse pose or in the meditation pose, whichever you have chosen. Now let's do the complete set of body awareness. Become aware of the 10 toes. The toes are still. The face is smiling. Just awareness is there at the toes. Now be aware of the soles, the right and the left soles together. The heels, calf muscles, knees, thighs, the hips, the low back, mid back, the shoulder blades. Now be aware of your spinal cord. Now both the arms from the shoulders to the respective fingertips. Now be aware of the nape of the neck. It's the back side of the neck. The back of the head. The top of your head. Forehead. Now be aware of your eyebrows. The eyes. Ears. The nose. Cheeks. Lips. The chin. Now be aware of the neck. Be aware of the chest. The abdomen. And now run the awareness like how a photocopy machine works from your hips to the toes. Now what we have done, we have completely scanned and aware of the body. This process would have activated little man in our brain, which will help in the physical level relaxation. Now, as we saw earlier, breathing is happening naturally to all of us. Now again, with a smiling face, we are going to become aware of the breath at different parts of the body. Remember, we are not going to try and breathe deeply. We are just going to witness. Like when you are standing in the balcony, you are witnessing the traffic. You are not controlling the traffic. Correct? Like that, we are going to witness the breath. So now, become aware of your abdomen movement. While breath is coming in through the nostrils, the abdomen will go up. And when we are breathing out, the abdomen will go down. This is a natural process. So what we are trying now, with a smiling face, we are just observing the breath happening at the abdomen. Just be with the breath happening at the abdomen. With a smiling face, just be there. Now, shift your awareness from the abdomen to the chest. Observe how your chest expands and contracts each time breath happens. All of us are breathing in and out through the nose. Our mouth is closed. So when breath enters, we will feel the chest is expanding. Experience that expansion. And when you exhale, the chest contracts naturally. So with a smiling face, observe this process of expansion of chest and the contraction of the chest. Even if the mind is traveling elsewhere, it is okay. Gently bring your mind with the smiling face and observe the expansion and contraction of your chest. Now, gradually from the chest, shift your awareness to the throat. The same place when we did Brahmari, we contracted that throat region. Now take your awareness from the chest and keep it at the throat. All the while you are smiling, the body is still, and you are just with the process. Now feel as if you are breathing in and out through the throat with a smiling face. Just be aware of the breath and the throat region. Now, shift your awareness from the throat to the tip of your nose. Observe how breath enters and exits the body through the nose. You are smiling. Your eyes are closed and still, but you are just aware how breath enters and exits your body through the nose. Now we completed the complete body awareness, and we did the breath awareness at the abdomen, at the chest, the throat, and the nostrils. Now just be aware of your body, either in meditation posture or in Shavasana. Bring your awareness from the breath to the body. Now slowly become aware of the sounds around you. Sometimes there may be no sounds. It is okay. Sometimes you will hear only the sound of your fan or air conditioner. Whatever sounds which are there, just observe them with a smiling face. Now, as you do that, keep your eyes closed, but get your legs together if you are lying down, and also interlock your fingers and take the hand above the head in line with the floor. And as you inhale, stretch as if someone is pulling you from, two people are pulling you from both sides, and your spine is stretched, the facial muscles are contracted, and as you exhale, relax. Now practice once more the stretch, stretch, and stretch, and relax. Now those of you who are lying down, place your left palm on the abdomen, bend your left leg, turn to the right slowly. Now straighten the legs, place the left hand on the ground or the mat before your chest. Steady yourself. And now, keeping the eyes closed, gently come up to a seated position. The eyes continue to be closed. Now mentally take yourself through the process. You did the complete scan of the body, helping the little man to help us relax. And then we worked with the breath awareness at 4 portions in the body: the abdomen, the chest, the throat, and the tip of the nose. When the breath deepens, it is going to give us the next level relaxation, because deeper the breath, quieter the mind, and clearer the thoughts. Now we are going to conclude the practice, but the session will continue after the practice. So now you can vigorously rub your palms, those of you who are seated as well as who got up from Shavasana. Once you have rubbed your palms, gently place them on your eyelids. Transfer the warm sensation. Let us not crush our eyes. Treat the eyes like flower petals. And then hold the palms before yourself like how you would hold a book. With a few blinks, look into the palms. Your eyes are designed to look at the palms, luminosity first. Each of our eyes are unique. After you are familiarizing your eyes with the light around, you can look everywhere. And one of the simplest secrets to derive benefit from any process is to maintain a couple of minutes of silence. It is as good as when we bake a cake at home or when you make savories at home. You leave for a few seconds. Even papad, when you fry, immediately if you take, it will be bending here and there like rubber. But for a few seconds, if you leave, it will settle down and we can enjoy the papad. We can enjoy the cake. Like that, many of us miss this small trick, whether it is pranayama, asana, judo, running, gymming, yoga nidra, meditation. After we do the process, we should allow the mind and body to internalize that process by staying quiet for 2 minutes, not seeing the mobile, not talking with people, not reading book or newspaper. Just be comfortable with yourself for the next minute. Good. So now what happens when we do this process every day, today, because all of you chose to invest time, we did slightly a longer process. When we are sharing with you, we are also going to share with you the short process. There is a famous saying, right? You sharpen the axe for a long time so that you can cut the tree in a second. Correct? So this preparation is always going to take a lot of time. But once you understand how the body and mind works, it is very easy for you to become relaxed, manage stress, and be effective in whatever we do. Imagine 7 minutes of Brahmari is able to give you clarity for at least 6 to 10 hours. This is not just like that I am sharing. The NCBI scientific report says for 30 days, if somebody practices Brahmari for 6.5 to 7 minutes, even if they stop practicing for 2 to 3 days, the benefits of Brahmari stays in the brain. The brain configuration alters. Naturally, your thought process will become quiet. And earlier you had a thought process, how will I quieten the mind? Now you have a thought process. To go a bit deeper, if you are a person who is used to thinking a lot, being active a lot, this is the easiest way to quieten yourself and think clearly. So whenever you are feeling very disturbed or you want to take an important decision, you want to prepare for an important meeting, please practice Brahmari. Afterwards, either before dinner, you can practice the short Yoga Nidra process so that the entire day's stress and the kind of jumbling up going on in the mind and body you can quieten. And then refresh yourself, go for dinner. People who are having problems with like insomnia, you can practice it lying down on the bed. Very gradually, you will come over insomnia because this breathing pattern in the abdomen will help us to quieten the mind by reducing our thoughts. Brahmari is helping us to quieten the thoughts in an active way that you're making sound and you are doing. But this abdomen breath during Shavasana, when you do properly, will help to quieten the mind without making any noise. See, both type of quietening the mind we have to learn. When you are in active space, you have to use Brahmari. When you are in a passive space, preparing yourself to relax, manage stress, rejuvenate, go to sleep, you have to use the abdomen breathing kind of a relaxation. So when you do this, what happens? You will get an idea about how your body and the mind is operating. You are giving value, you are giving time. So over a period of time, the body also will start relaxing along with the mind. Okay. And for people who are doing deeper level sadhana, Swami Satyananda has said, Yoga Nidra is the first step towards Samadhi. That means transcendence. Slowly we will understand, oh, I am not the body, but I am utilizing this body. Next we will understand, oh, breath. I am not the breath, but breath is essential for me to be in this body. Slowly we will go to the mind, the intellect, and the deeper realms. So this also will help us to have a right perspective about life, try to balance the relationships, and certain stresses in life we cannot avoid. Like we are in Bangalore. We measure the distance in number of hours, not in kilometers. Because we have chosen to live in a place, we accept the plus and minus of the place instead of daily cribbing about it. So when you practice a process like Yoga Nidra, slowly you will understand what is in your control, what is not in your control. First, that also is very important to understand, correct? That calmness will settle and we will do what is required by us in that situation. So process like Brahmari and Yoga Nidra prepare us to have a reasonably stable, quiet and a stress-managed mind. Nobody can avoid stress. If someone says, I can avoid stress, please don't believe. Only people like Ramana Maharishi or some dead body which is before us can be stress-free. Because in dead body, there is no mind. Life is not there. In people like Ramana Maharishi, they have transcended the mind. All of us have bills to pay, EMIs to do, salaries to give, lot of things are happening. So it is quite natural to go through the stress, but we need to have tools and techniques like Brahmari and Yoga Nidra to manage this. Okay. So we can, if anybody has questions, you can raise your hand and we will unmute you. And please feel free. We will also get the material. At the same time, if you have any doubts right now, please ask us. Yeah, Usha Kalyani has raised. Yeah.
So, the initial stage of this today's practice, you were giving instructions, right? Feel your fingers, then the gap between and then the left side. By the time the left side was there, no, I was not here. Further instructions, I just could not. It was not. Is it that I went to sleep, or was it something else? I am not able to understand that part.
That is okay. First, you are doing it first time.
Yeah.
First time itself to become aware and not sleep or lose the mind is very difficult. So it is okay. But your mind came back, right?
Yeah.
So by practice, what will happen throughout this 12 minutes or 18 minutes or 24 minutes, we decide to practice. Gradually, the mind will come back and be with us. But in the initial days, the mind will go to sleep. The mind will go to the future. Mind will go to the past. Mind will say, oh, after this class, I have to go and cook at home. I have a meeting. All these things will happen.
My mind was completely blank.
That is okay. Everything is possible. The only thing is you keep coming back to the instructions and just be with that. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Naveen? Yeah.
Namaste, Krishna ji.
Namaste. Namaste.
My name is Naveen, and I'm basically from Kerala. And I have the question. And normally, that I also practicing yoga and teaching yoga almost 15 to 17 years. And I also completed my graduation and post graduation also in yoga.
Okay.
And I also learning Yoga Nidra from Bihar School of Yoga Bharati from my teacher. And also I have question, and before the body observation or the rotation of consciousness through the different parts of the body. And normally that we learn that sankalpa, that's also auto-suggestion.
Yeah.
And also, I think so the missing that one or just like a not added that one. And also
we consciously didn't do that because in a mass gathering like this, we have to teach what is a sankalpa, how to make a sankalpa.
Okay.
Generally,
Yeah, it will
people
take
keep sankalpa
a long
like
time.
I will quit smoking, I will quit drinking like that. Those sankalpas will never work. So that is a sankalpa based yoga nidra is for people who are studying to do it in a very systematic way. Without sankalpa itself, this will work. Yeah.
Okay. Also, just like it will take time, and it's like not a 1 hour or 2 hour.
Yeah.
And also that I have that suggestion, and also added that visualization. The visualization also is very important thing in
Correct,
yoga
Naveen
nidra.
ji. The purpose of this process is not to teach the entire yoga nidra to people.
Okay.
As per the clinical studies, the body and the breath alone is enough for stress management. Then people get clear in the kind of thoughts. Then we sit with them in a certificate course and teach them what is Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, what is Yama, Niyama, how to make a resolve. That is a long process. But for people who want a stress relaxation from the mind and body, this alone is enough. Because if I say in a group of 190 people, visualize a vast blue sky or visualize a temple, people will get suddenly disturbed. So those things are done in small groups, not in the mass of 100 and 150. So what is done in the public is mainly to do with the Annamaya Kosha and the Pranamaya Kosha. We deal with the Manomaya Kosha for people who say, this is working for me, can I go deeper? Then we open to them about what is a sankalpa, because Satyananda has clearly mentioned any sankalpa taken during Yoga Nidra is bound to come true. Then as a teacher, we have the responsibility of making people understand the concept correctly. See, whatever we have spoken today, the body level little man, they can go and verify and understand. Sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system, using the breath awareness, they can understand. But Sankalpa gets into the domain of mind. It requires a smaller group to explain and take them deeper. That is the reason why we pruned it.
Okay, but we can give some visualization, like a symbol visualization. That's also help for that our mind, right?
Correct.
And
That
especially
what will
that of
happen?
clear
Suppose if I
and
say a
clear
bird, somebody will say what color of the bird. These are all not necessary in a mass session. These are all necessary in a session where we have maximum of 20 people. If they have a doubt, suppose if I say visualize a particular color, what red, crimson red, sky red, this red. So we should keep the instructions where there is no confusion to anybody.
Okay, I understood. And also that, normally the Yoga Nidra has different steps, more than 7 to 8 steps are there. And starting from the preparation of Yoga Nidra to ending the Yoga Nidra. I understood that one. And okay, and thank you. And namaste.
Thank you. Thank you so much. No. Yeah, Deepa. Deepa M has.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Sir, after completing the sitting, the lying down Yoga Nidra, when I sit back, I was feeling like the not head spin actually, somewhat pull kind of sensation. Why is that so, or is it normal?
You are seated or you lie down?
I was lying down.
Sometimes what happens is these are all work of prana. So nothing to worry about it. If it is happening frequently, we need to visit a proper Ayurveda doctor to see how the prana sanchalana is happening in the body. But nothing to worry. Sometimes when there is no thoughts, we will feel like floating or things like that will happen. This is how the prana works inside the body. But when such things happen, when you get up, when you sit, you have to stay quiet for some time. You should not get up immediately after the practice. So what we do generally, we will do at least a minute or two sitting quiet. And then we will get up. Like morning, when you get up from the bed, you first sit down, do the prayers, and then get up, right? Like that, when you are clearly knowing that your head is spinning, you are feeling light, you are not feeling normal that day, take your time and then release yourself from the process. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Surya Kumarji.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah.
So thank you for organizing this session. It was very peaceful. I'm feeling very light and pleasant. I have just one question, but you're talking about the little man in the brain. I'm curious to know which part of the brain are you referring to?
We will send the notes in detail. You can note down. It is a colloquial word. So whenever we use the scientific terms, we use it in a place where people understand. This is a colloquial word where when we are in our mother's womb, we are in a particular structure in our mother's womb like this, correct? There is a blueprint in our brain location which is mimicking that location. The neuroscientists call as a little brain. So when we are sending the notes, we will give the scientific terms and you can refer to that. So what happens is when someone touches for example, a right shoulder, without even focusing, we are able to know somebody is touching our right shoulder, correct? That is because the corresponding location in the little man gets like neuronic activation. So for common man's understanding, we say it is the little man. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Hasita ji.
Sir, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I have a question. So if we would like to practice this at home all by ourselves, should we give a gap of 1 or 2 hours after food or before food? Is there any restriction for food to do Yoga Nidra? Because yoga, we generally don't do it for 2 hours after food. Immediately, we don't do it. How about Yoga Nidra, sir?
See, when your stomach is full, the work of the body and the mind is to help in digestion. When you shift the body and the mind to do something else that interferes with the main process, it doesn't serve the purpose of having food. So generally, any of the processes, not just yoga, either gymming, running, everything is done prior to the meal, first thing. Sometimes people with insomnia are there. In that exceptional cases, half an hour after the light dinner, they can practice Yoga Nidra. It's all exceptional case. There is no one rule suits everybody. And there are some type of people, even if they have a heavy meal, they cannot sleep. Some people are designed like that. So such people can practice Yoga Nidra after the meal. But the problem is the breath awareness they cannot practice properly. Only the body level awareness they can do. So keeping all these things in mind, it is always better to practice such things in empty stomach.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful experience, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Sharayu?
Namaste, sir. I
Namaste.
have a question. So, like you mentioned that some people might have the problem with concentration.
Yeah.
Right? So meditation might be a problem for them.
Yeah.
So can they do Yoga Nidra? Like you mentioned, you start with Brahmari, right? So only when they're able to do the Brahmari successfully and then you go to Yoga Nidra, or how do you go about Yoga Nidra for a person who is having a problem with focusing or concentration?
See, there are two questions in one question. One is if someone is by nature a Vata predominant Prakriti, there is a lot of thoughts and disturbances, the ability to concentrate will be less. Such people, like taking a multivitamin tablet every day, can practice Brahmari. Whether they are practicing Yoga Nidra or meditation is second choice. But practicing Brahmari, there is no choice. They have to practice. It will help them to culture the mind. It is called mind culture. Second is, some of us are naturally relaxed disposition. So we may use Brahmari to do before our meditation practice also. But the problem is, without the body and mind completely relaxed, if we get into meditation, we may get out stressed out of the meditation. Even people who are sitting next to us will feel difficult at many homes. Oh, this person is getting into puja room. He's going to shout at us. Because we are all taking everything as a task instead of doing it with love. So what we do is we consciously practice a shorter Yoga Nidra for say 6 to 12 minutes minimum, quieten the body and mind, and then get into the meditation. So this way we have to adjust based on our need. And remember, in yoga or in the tradition, there's nothing called a linear thing. Some of us are already having a quiet mind. You can directly go to Yoga Nidra or meditation. But this is a standard process given because one day we may have a lot of mental clarity. One day we may have a lot of things going on in the brain. So make it a standard of doing a Brahmari followed by Yoga Nidra. Is it okay? Yeah. Yeah, Krishna ji?
Namaste.
Namaste.
When I'm doing Brahmari, this sound is coming, humming sound.
Yeah.
In school days, when I'm during studies, books I'm reading, if I do this sound, my mother used to shout at me, "Don't moola kudadu. Molder is not good for house," she used to say. Now, the same thing has become, this molder is good for the brain. So how this, why these different aspects we had in this system?
Whatever we do, why we do is important. Slapping is generally wrong. But if you have to slap for the right reason, you have to slap. Like that, this humming sound just playfully doing is different. Contracting the glottis, epiglottis, scientifically understanding how this helps in the brain functioning and developing concentration. Many of the things we were doing without knowing. Now we know the scientific reason. When we explain, I think it is easier for people to do it. That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Hina ji? Somebody is unmuting her. Okay. Okay, Soumya?
Sir, I have a question. Like, can I know what's the difference between Yoga Nidra and DRT?
And?
DRT. deep relaxation. Even that also we get the same
In DRT,
relaxation.
you are actively involved. You are not a witness. In Yoga Nidra, you are a witness. In DRT, actively you do things, correct? In Yoga Nidra, you wait for things and you are there when the breath is happening, you are there. When sound is happening, you are there. In QRT, DRT, you are consciously, actively involving yourself. Okay. That is the main difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great.
Sir, there is a question coming up. Will the notes be shared via email? And also, what will be the highlights of the notes shared?
What is it? Tell me again.
What will be covered in the notes? Like, when you're giving a material, what are the topics covered in the notes?
Obviously, we will not give to the level they appear for a master in yoga. Whatever is needed for them, whatever was covered in the session will definitely be given. Already, we have dumped a lot of notes in traditionalyoganidra.com. Srimad Yoga resource pages have umpteen content, which is way beyond this session also. So they can access our website and download. They can look at the videos on Yoga Nidra in our YouTube channel. So all these things are already made available. But today's session's notes will be given appropriately in the WhatsApp group where they are part of. Yeah.
Yes. So there's another question coming up which asks that Yoga Nidra, it was really a nice experience for us to learn Yoga Nidra. So if we are really in a very hurry or, we do not have much time, what is the minimum duration that we need to practice and how can we practice wherever we are?
Okay. As long as they are not driving the car or riding the bike, they can practice this. Minimum 12 minutes, anything is required. First thing is, unless you give value to something, it will not give you value back. If you do it as one of the things to do list, it is going to keep you in a state of hurry. So you have to pause and slow down. Today we have scientific reasons, easily understandable content is available. Read about it. More you give value to the process, you will find time to do the process. So whatever you are doing in 2 hours, you will start doing in 1.5 hours because you are spending quality time in practice like meditation, pranayama, or yoga nidra. So this way we have to consciously give value to that. I think Krishna, he is unmuted. He can ask last. Yeah, Krishna ji. You had a question?
So there's a question from Krishna ji.
Yeah.
During my school days, I used to do Brahmari sound and read, and my elders used to scold me, telling me
we answered that. We answered that.
Yeah,
we answered
we
that.
answered that. Also.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Krishna sir, could you Yoga Nidra is a wonderful process that we all have understood. So is there anything that we can do like in 1 or 2 minutes just to quickly come out of the present state of maybe anger, depression, or unlike a situation where we are not liking the situation, right? So many times we get into that situation that I do not like the situation and I tend to respond, but I do not want to respond. I should not respond is the right way to be. So what do you say, like in that 1-2 minutes, what anybody could do to stay calm and composed?
So the 1-2 minute is not happening 24 hours in a day, right? So before that situation, every day they should have a practice. Some practice, not only yoga nidra. Any practice which calms them down. It could be painting, it could be gardening. They should do something in the time so that it prepares when they're having a problem, when they have to face a situation. In a situation, you cannot do something. Okay. You have to be prepared for the situation. Like throughout the year, you study in the college for an exam, which is 3 hours. If you start preparing the day before, what will happen? It will be difficult. So if you have to deal a situation in that 1 or 2 minutes, you have to prepare yourself every day using something much better.
Right. So everyday practice of yoga nidra can gradually get to that state of mind for us where at any given moment in life, we will be able to answer it. So there's one question coming up from Hina Desai. What is the better time to practice yoga nidra, in the morning before your day start or in the evening?
Many times this depends on the mindset of a person. There are people who are night owls, So there are people who are early risers. Each of us choose a particular time which we feel we are ready to go in and do some inner work. So each of us can decide a time, then they can do. Only advantage of doing it early in the morning is it keeps us fresh throughout the day. Okay, so generally inner work we do early in the day. Many times today we don't know when the day is ending. Today we may think I'll come back from office and do meditation, come back and do pranayama. The manager may have a meeting, a friend might have called you, you have a business meeting. So it is better, it is practical today, the 24/7 connected world. Before you step out to do your day-to-day work, finish all the inner work.
Okay, so I think one last question for the day we can take up as part of this session. Shrinjini Chakraborty has raised the hand.
Yeah, please.
How do I start doing Namaste sir, I'm 10 years old. So how do I start doing it?
How do you start doing?
How do I start doing this yoga lecture?
Okay. So like how we did today, you first practice Brahmari for 7 minutes and then quietly lie down on a mat, and we will send you the audio also. You can plug in your headphone and just do it. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Soumya. The last question.
Soumya, I think, please unmute and ask your question.
Namaste, sir. Sir, is it preferable to do indoor or outdoor?
Yes. Was the question asked?
Yeah, the question is it preferable to do practice Yoga Nidra indoors or outdoors?
Preferably indoors, because when you're closing your eyes, you are not sure what's happening around you. So it is always better to do it indoors, unless there is someone who is monitoring and giving the session outdoors.
Okay. And how frequently we can do this practice?
Every day.
Every day. Okay,
every
fine.
Day,
okay,
day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, Meghna?
Sir, can everybody of all ages or any health issues, like pregnant ladies above 10 years of age, everybody can do Yoga Nidra meditation, sir?
Yeah, anybody who can comprehend simple English, or you can translate it into your mother tongue, they can practice this. It is very safe for pregnant women.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
So I think with this, we are formally concluding the session
Yes.
on Yoga Nidra now. Yes, after Krishna Prakash, sir, over to you for a formal conclusion.
Yeah, Bhavana?
Please, a formal conclusion of the session.
Yeah. So thank you, all of you, for taking part in this yajna. So we wanted to share this knowledge with as much as audience as possible. And the great way is to do it like a world record so that all of us can benefit. And through each of you, it is going to reach your friends, family, and your relatives and your well-wishers. Please feel free to share this information. Sharing information doesn't cost anything, but when you see them stress-free with a smiling face, that makes our day, correct? So thanks to each of you for making this possible. Over to you, Bhavana.
Thank you so much, sir. So over to, I request everyone to please stay back for another 5 to 10 minutes, please. Till now, you all have been patient, and a lot of work was happening in the back end, and we formally conclude the session for the world record attempt. And please stay back for a couple of more minutes, maybe. And I now request our adjudicator, Pradeep, Dr. K. Pradeep Kumar, to please share his observations.
Happy evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a great pleasure and honor to be a part of this wonderful session. I, first of all, express my sincere appreciation to Krishna Prakash ji and the entire team of Srimad Yoga and all the participants for being a part of this wonderful divine event in this today happy evening. I am delighted to extend my heartfelt congratulations to each one of you for achieving the prestigious activity on the category most participants in a virtual Yoga Nidra session. This remarkable session is a testament to your dedication, unity, and collective effort in promoting wellness and mindfulness through the ancient practice of Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra, often referred to as yogic sleep, is a powerful meditation technique that fosters deep relaxation and inner awareness. This excellent meditation technique was taught under the leadership of Krishna Prakash ji to all of you, and which in turn has now shaped to a world record attempt as well. As a part of the process, I now invite the witness of this prestigious event in this fine evening to deliver her report. I request the witness, Geeta ma'am. I request Bhavna to spotlight witness, timekeeper, Krishna Prakash ji, and myself. Happy evening, witness Geeta Satish ma'am. Happy evening, timekeeper. Yeah. Can you spotlight all four of us alone, Bhavna ji?
The four are on spotlight. All the four
let me
are
continue. Witness Geeta Satish, I have few questions to you. At what time the event started?
We started by 6. We started by 6:25 is what I have taken from 5:30. Sorry, 5:30.
No, I'm sorry, the observation is wrong. Timekeeper, what is the exact time it started?
5:15.
Exactly, it is 5:15.
5:15. Okay.
Witness, please kindly make a note of it. Your observation report is very important.
Yeah.
You should be very careful when you answer the questions.
15.
At what time the session started? 5:15 p.m.
Yeah.
What time the session completed, timekeeper?
6:50.
6:50. So 1 hour 35 minutes. Witness ma'am, can you tell me the least number of participants as per your records at what time?
As per my record is at 6:40. It's
what's the number of participants?
Yeah, the number of participants were 156 with 138 video on and 18 video off.
At what time?
6:40.
6:40. Excellent. Can I go to timekeeper? Can you tell me at what time the highest number of participants we had?
We had at 5:15 at 205 total participant, but there were maximum number of video offs at that time on the settling time. So 35 videos were off, so it was 170. But with video on, it was 182 at 525.
525. Excellent. As per your observation, what is the least numbers you have notified? Number of participants?
At 6:50, it is least is 131.
131.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, witness. Thank you, timekeeper. Witness, I have a question to you. The entire session of 1 hour 35 minutes, completely the session was only about Yoga Nidra. Am I right?
Yeah.
Who was the only speaker, or you had multiple speakers during the session?
We had only speaker Krishna Prakash ji, and later were the question Q&A sessions.
Okay. What was the total duration of Q&A session?
The total Q&A duration was around 5 minutes.
Sorry, ma'am. No.
To be frank, I didn't check the time for the Q&A.
It was totally 21 minutes was the Q&A. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, during your written report, Bhavna will share you the witness statement
Yeah.
template. Kindly mark the exact one. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present my report. At 5:25, we had 149 video on. At 5:38, we had 185 video on. At 5:50, we had 177 video on. At 6 p.m., we had 178 video on. At 6:10, we had 170 video on. At 6:25, we had 160 video on. And at 6:38, we had 137 video on. So the least is 137 at 6:38 as per the observation from our technical team and by myself. And detecting witness, detecting timekeeper, detecting Sri Krishna Prakash ji. So 3 of us, as per the norms, we have to detect the numbers. So 137 minus 3, it would be 134. And one team will be from our technical team also on board. So 137 minus 3 minus 1, it is 133. Now, it is my great pleasure and honor to declare the event conducted today. I request Srimati Bhavna to please kindly share the screen.
Pradeep sir, you have the screen share access.
No. I request you to please share it.
One moment.
Dr. K. Pradeep Kumar, adjudicator, Elite World Records LLC for USA for India, hereby provisionally declare the world record attempt as follows. The most participants in a virtual Yoga Nidra session counted to 133 was set by Srimat Yoga in Bengaluru, Karnataka, India on 16th June 2024. The event was witnessed by an independent witness, Srimati Geeta Satish. The timekeeper of the day was Srimati G. Pradibha. As per the basic reports we received from the witness and timekeeper, and I as adjudicator and my technical team on board, from 4:50 p.m. to 6:50 p.m. today on 16 June, I provisionally declare this world record attempt by Srimat Yoga is successful. Congratulations, the chief mentor and yogi of Srimat Yoga, Sri Krishna Prakash ji. The citation is as follows. Elite World Records certificate. The most participants in a virtual Yoga Nidra session counted to 133 was set by Srimat Yoga in Bengaluru, Karnataka, India on June 16, 2024. Record license number EWR 2024-7263. Congratulations to Srimat Yoga team and congratulations Krishna Prakash ji and Bhavna and the entire team for making proud on the occasion of celebrating the 11th International Yoga Day. Congratulations once again to the entire team of Srimat Yoga. Let us practice Yoga Nidra mentored by Krishna Prakash ji, and let us inhale the divine energy and spirit of holiness, and let us live peacefully, happily throughout the life. Thank you once again, and congratulations on behalf of Elite World Records. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you for your patience. Thank you, Dr.
for
Pradeep.
your declaration and your support throughout for us in motivating and helping us reach more people by working on setting records and more. So Krishna Prakash sir, it was indeed an amazing effort, and your consistent efforts in ensuring that the concept of Yoga Nidra should reach to more people, because that is one instrument in ensuring that people can have peaceful, happy life. I think today you have been successful. Congratulations to the entire team of Srimat
And
Yoga.
special thanks, Bhavana, to you, Shankar and April, for managing the back end. And thanks to each of you, because this is how real life happens. Things happen never by plan, they just happen. And these are the events which test whether we are going to make a record. I can clearly tell you when that happened, I knew we will make it. Because these are the signs, cosmic signs to tell whether we have internalized stress management or not. So I thanks Shankar, April for using their brilliant presence of mind, and Bhavana in the back end, and Dr. Pradeep for holding us through this and making this happen. Thanks to each of you.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. And Smriti Akka, not to forget, standing as the backbone along with Krishna Prakash, sir, and standing as one of the guiding force for Srimad Yoga. I think your support has been very instrumental for Krishna Prakash, sir, and all of us in making this to a great success. So
thank you, Bhavna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Mr. Prakashji. Congratulations, Mr. Shankar. Your technical support played a vital role on the successful accomplishment of this event. And congratulations to the entire team once again. You are proud. You are now not an ordinary Indian. You are an extraordinary Indian. Now you are not a little champion. You are a champion of champion, the world champion. Not only you, you made all of us the world champion. So thank you so much, Krishna Prakash ji. Congratulations once again. Bye-bye.
Bye. All of you,
over
please
to
take...
Bhavna and rest of the proceedings.
Thank you so much, Pradeep sir, for this nice talk.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
April
all
and
of you.
Shankarji,
Thank you
for
so much.
jumping in. Yeah, to all the participants out here, it was a great evening. You all were consistent and supported us till the last minute. It is, as they say, individual drops make an ocean. It is only when all of us have come together that this led to the successful of this. Let's
I also
cherish
wish
this
to
day.
thank Bhavana, the Oxygen team available here, Rashi, Kirtana, many of them. And you and April were also part of putting things together. So all of you, nowhere we can do single-handedly. Even to clap, you need 2 hands and 10 fingers. I think we all did it together. We did our best. Thanks to each of you. Namaste.
Yes, and stay tuned for the citation ceremony officially on International Day of Yoga, where you will again receive the invite regarding the same in the group.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I'm officially concluding the meeting. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.